In this video, I will continue to talk about rethinking of aging. It is part 8 and the last one of the presentation, and it's about hold breath to live longer. As always, I recommend you to download presentation as PDF file from the link in the description. You will get access to links and also to the source of information to make your own research. Please mind that I am not a medical professional, and this information is only to help you to make your own research and decide what you have to do. What I am doing this research for my own radical life extension. So what will work for me may not work for you. So please take attention. Okay, let's go. Lung function declines with age due to factors like loss of elasticity in lung tissue, weakened respiratory muscles, and reduced chest mobility. Vital capacity, or so-called forced vital capacity, is the maximum amount of air a person can expel from the lungs after maximum inhalation. Spirometry measures lung function, especially this vital capacity, and forced expiratory volume in 1 second. It is a reproducible, non-invasive, and affordable test. In fact, not epigenetic logs, like it is assumed by majority of researchers, but lung function can serve as a reliable marker of biological age and mortality prediction, together with blood pressure and resting heart rate, I believe. So forced lung vital capacity can be an important predictor of lifespan and indicator of mortality risk in the elderly, second only to age. Yet spirometry is not considered a global health marker, and therefore it is not routinely measured. I measure it, and so it is really can be done very cheap and easy yourself. So it's, I don't know, again, when I was young it was always done in clinics, but now I don't see it's any longer in hospitals. So it's, again, you can get quite sophisticated tools that can measure the rate of breathing out of air, and then to make some more interesting measurements. But okay, whatever. This device, of course, more expensive. Several studies have demonstrated that reduced lung function, as measured with forced vital lung capacity and forced expiratory volume in 1 second. Forced expiratory volume in 1 second is associated with increased mortality risk, particularly from respiratory diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and all-cause mortality. Okay, so these parameters is forced FEVC, so forced expiratory volume in 1 second, and forced lung capacity, or full lung capacity, but not the ratio of these values were related to all-cause mortality in individuals from general population independently of cardiac function. Okay, so it's a really very important parameter. Reduced lung function in the elderly is also associated with frailty, which is a state of increased vulnerability to stressors and illnesses, hospitalization, and mortality in older people. The elderly with compromised lung function are more often developed frailty with poor reversibility. Frail individuals with compromised lung function are at greater risk of complications from infections, surgeries, and hospitalization, all of which can lead to high mortality rates. Okay, you can go to source information, read this information. Okay, so as we see, especially at this picture, we see that the forced or full lung capacity is dropping. That's dropping over time. Some people have this rate of this forced lung capacity or full lung capacity is going slowly, so they live much longer. But some develop a very sharp decrease in the full or vital lung capacity or full forced lung capacity. Okay, you see that it is go down very quick. So as in average, you can see how this forced or full lung capacity is develops over time, and also this volume what you expel in 1 second. So it is, again, you can see how it is. It depends on age, and it is always dropping. So you can use this parameter to estimate your biological age, of course. Deep breathing exercise such as diaphragmic breathing and pranayama can strengthen the respiratory muscles, improve lung elasticity, and enhance lung function. Let's say it is also can help rejuvenation. Over time, deep breath exercise can lead to an increase in forced lung capacity or vital lung capacity, and this forced expiratory volume in 1 second, reduction of blood pressure, stress, and anxiety in adults. Potentially, deep breathing exercises may extend the lifespan. The reduction in systolic blood pressure, that's not much, but 3-6 millimeters of mercury, observed following breathing training. It is 10 minutes of deep breathing twice per day for 9 months. And it is also indication of the rejuvenation, are likely to be clinically significant and associated with 10% lower risk for cardiovascular disease. So deep breath exercise can counteract the negative effects of prolonged sitting. Regular deep breath exercise can help prevent the decline in physical and functional lung capacity. A further advantage is that this exercise can be performed essentially anywhere, and it has a low energetic cost and would have no negative effects on the performance or productivity of the person. So it's really easy to do, much recommended by medical professionals and other enthusiasts. It is really easy to do, so easy and very cheap. Okay, diaphragmic breathing increasing, so deep diaphragmic breathing increases oxygen supply to the body cells and organs, which is crucial for metabolic process, immune function, and overall tissue health. Better oxygenation because of this diaphragmic breathing exercises reduces level of chronic inflammation, improves energy level, and supports cardiovascular function, physical activity, and mobility. Chronic inflammation is a driver of many age-related diseases, including cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and even cancer. Lower inflammation levels can contribute to healthier aging and potentially to a longer life. Deep breath exercises slows down the progression of chronic respiratory conditions and decreases the risk of respiratory infections, which are common causes of morbidity and mortality in the elderly. Okay, you can go to the source of information again. Let us dive deeper into the mechanism of health improvement with regular breathing exercise and describe effective breathing exercise. Okay, so examples of the effective breathing exercise include this list of the exercises, 7 altogether. You can go to use the link to go to the sources and decide for yourself what is better for you. In my young or even childhood, young age and childhood, I was quite intensively used pranayama, yoga breathing, and it was very helpful, I believe, to develop a larger lung volume. But okay, but also as I'm a diver, I use this static breath holding and dynamic breath holding. It is also these exercises are used by free divers to improve their breath holding ability. So it is Buteyko method of breathing, very popular, especially in Russia, but also other countries. So it is very, very easy, but I don't think it is very efficient. It is, again, helps, but Buteyko himself lived only 80 years, so I don't think it is good. And this is picture. I cannot find out what age Buteyko at this picture, but he definitely lived not too long. 80 years, maybe for Russia, Soviet Union, it is quite achievement, but my relatives, for example, live much longer. Okay, so it's 80 years. I'm not impressed at all. So this is inspiratory muscle training. So you breathe in with some resistance and breathing in and breathing out with some resistance. So it improves your lung capacity and improves the muscles, diaphragm muscles, for example, and the muscles on your that's on your lung, moving your lung. So it can be used. It's also very cheap. Many YouTube and internet influencers propose and describe various breathing exercises aimed at improving health and elderly individuals, which with a focus on enhancing lung function and reducing stress and promoting longevity. So it's again, you can go to all these channels. A lot of people watching these movies, videos, and follow these influencers. Yeah, I'm not very happy with all of them. Some I would not deny that breathing exercises are very helpful. But if we go, for example, to Wim Hof, he is only 65 years old, but looks much older. And what he proposes, I don't like actually. Okay, so this is Wim Hof. He's 65 years old. I'm 67. I look at him and he looks so old, and all this. So again, I don't care. But I would never do what he is proposing. It is exposure to long exposure to cold, and his way of breathing exercises. I would not accept. It is unbelievable. It's not healthy at all. So look at him. He already developed amnesia, and look at, he's so old looking person. I'm 67. I'm I have to make video short video with myself, not reading a presentation, but showing my appearance. In 4 years, I use this 4 years already as my research, and my appearance at least improved, I say, but okay, but I have to show it. Hypercapnia is high levels of carbon dioxide in the blood. Hypoxia is low concentration of oxygen in the blood. Okay, you see these two states, hypoxia and hypercapnia. And again, if you can measure concentration of oxygen, but with such devices are available, and hypoxia is when concentration of oxygen in the blood below 90%, and normal oxygen level is between 95 and 100. I have this very simple device. It's normally show me 98% of oxygen. Yeah, but again, it is not 198, but again, it's probably not measuring properly. Hypoxia and hypercapnia tolerance improve athletic results. Intermittent hypoxic training can significantly improve the aerobic capacity of exercisers. Yes, this is true. And it is very much popular in among athletes. So, in the next stage, it is intermittent hypoxia, hyperoxia training. It is like first you breathe in air with low concentration of oxygen, and then changing to breathe in oxygen, pure oxygen, or that's air with high concentration of oxygen. It's also very popular in training for athletes. So it is well tolerated and improves short-term memory in elderly patients. So it is not only for athletes, but again, benefits of this intermittent hypoxia training, intermittent hypoxia, hyperoxia training and hypercapnic training. It is hypercapnic. It's actually keeping your breath for long and accumulating this carbon dioxide in your blood. So it is give many benefits such as a strong immune system, faster healing due to detoxification of metabolic waste, increased red blood count, improved endurance, performance and muscle recovery, increased oxygenation and blood flow to the brain and other organs, slowing cognitive decline for patients with Alzheimer and other brain disorders, speedy recovery after respiratory infections, and an increase in the formation of new blood vessels. Again, you can go to the source of information and read the article. So it's true, or I support it, but only a question how to do it. So this intermittent hypoxic training, it's like breathing air with low or very high concentration of oxygen. It's to improve performance of the athletes and also of the elderly. Obstructive sleep apnea, it is a chronic intermittent hypoxia, is the most common sleep-related breathing disorder, and it is characterized by recurrent episodes of complete or partial obstruction of the upper airways, leading to reduced or absent breathing during sleep. Again, it's breathing through not through the nose. It is again, but it is very damaging, I would believe. Yeah, so it is not only snoring, but again, this is obstructive sleep apnea can happen. So most individuals with obstructive sleep apnea are unaware of disturbances in breathing while sleeping, even after awakening. Long-term consequences of obstructive sleep apnea, such as sleep fragmentation, hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction, high oxidative stress, inflammation, and oxidation of proteins and lipids because of high oxidative stress, contribute to accelerated progression and severity of many diseases, including cardiovascular disease, neurological disorders, cancer, and of course accelerated aging. So it's okay, be careful. And again, it's very easy to stop it if you have this problem. In contrast to obstructive sleep apnea, intermittent hypoxic training with moderate hypoxia and low cycle frequency most often led to improved endurance and working capacity of the brain. Okay, you see, that's also intermittent hypoxia, hyperoxia training triggers a well-documented rejuvenation effect. Again, this is very easy to do. Obstructive sleep apnea together with snoring, it is extremely common breath-related sleep disorder. Okay, mind that again, it is so easy to, I was explaining in previous videos what to do. It's so easy to fight and to stop it. And okay, so why people have this problem, I don't know. So one my friend is snoring during the night. And I told him what to do, and did he follow my recommendations? No, he continues to snoring and can sleep only 4-5 hours during the night. So, and he aging very quick. So okay, but again, it is your choice to live short or live longer. There is abundant evidence for increased longevity in mammals living underground or in high altitude and oceanic environments where low oxygen supply is a major environmental pardon my English environmental factor. Okay, environmental factor. Hypoxic adaptation increases longevity and physiological activity of all the humans living in high altitudes. It is very well known. Hypoxic adaptation potentially promotes longevity in vertebrates. Yes, also well known fact. Chronic hypoxia, 11% of oxygen instead of 21% in air, extends lifespan in short-living mice by 50%. It's a lot. In Drosophila, the maximum but not mean lifespan was extended under moderate hypoxia conditions during rearing of juvenile flies at 10 and 21 kilopascal of oxygen, and maximum lifespan was extended only at 10 kilopascal. Okay, so yeah, okay, we can go a little bit here. This is okay. You see this longevity of mice. All mice living in hypoxia. So male, at least males and females. Okay, that you can see. Oh, it is the hypoxic conditions increased longevity a lot. So just less oxygen. It is like at high altitude. It is extending lifespan of mice 50%. It's a lot. Okay. Maximum lifespan was extended. Okay, neck about the flies, Drosophila flies. The maximum but not mean lifespan was extended under moderate hypoxia conditions during rearing the juvenile flies at 10 and 21 kilopascal of oxygen, but maximum lifespan was extended only at 10 kilopascal. Okay, so let's go here. You see. If juvenile flies were keeping at 10 to 21 and moderate hypoxia, it extended and then okay, please, okay, if it is were at moderate hypoxia, but then adult flies were keeping at normal conditions, it improved the average lifespan, but not maximum lifespan. Okay, you see. But if hypoxia continued in flies, we see that some improvement in lifespan at 10 kilopascal partial pressure of oxygen in air. So it is even for flies we see this effect. And also you see that comparison with like blue crab, it is living in not so deep, and water is saturated with oxygen, and so blue crab lives only 2 years, but lobster it lives very deep in the ocean, in the area of low oxygen content. It lives 100 years. You see that hypoxia, even chronic hypoxia, but not during the sleep. Chronic hypoxia can improve longevity in some animals, offer very much, but also hypoxia can be experienced during high activity, high physical activity, and compare mice and microbats, and microbats live 40 years. Mice live no shorter than 2 years. The same rats live shorter than 2 years, and squirrel 20 years. The same body size, but a squirrel is very active, and it is experiencing intermittent hypoxia during such activity, and the same with bats. Okay, we will talk about this later. Snake mole rats and other subterranean mole rats, like blind mole rats, with extended lifespan, share hypoxic adaptation to underground burrows and have high resistance to cancer and no age-related increase in mortality. Okay, these animals live in hypoxic conditions, but again, it is adaptation to hypoxia. Improved their longevity. They show no change in mortality. It is again, they are not aging at all. Okay, so what? For a given amount of oxygen consumed, more carbon dioxide is produced from the metabolism of carbohydrates than from that of protein and fat. Okay, so 30% of oxygen more produced with carbohydrates in comparison with fat. So it's a big difference. Therefore, animals living in hypoxic environment use fatty acid oxidation to reduce their dependence on oxygen and anaerobic fructose fueled metabolism during severe hypoxia. Okay, this is some extreme, but again, they mostly rely on consuming of fat and use fat as a source of energy to reduce consumption of oxygen. So, and this NACMO rats, not only they rely on this fat which is produced in the guts by bacteria, but also have hyperglycemic conditions compared with mice. So very low, relatively low concentration of glucose in the blood. You see 3.5, 6.7 in mice, so it is much less glucose. It's also indication what you can do to extend your longevity. So it is certainly not to rely on carbohydrates as the main source of energy. Okay, and NACMO rats glucose level did not show consistent changes divergent from those in the mice. It is like glucose level may change when you have low oxygen concentration. In mice, it is changing a lot, but in NACMO rats, it is already low, and it is stable. It stays stable because again they use fat produced by bacteria in their gut to be used as source of energy. Long-living bowhead whales live on a high lipid diet, and their liver supports enhanced glucogenesis as an adaptive mechanism. Okay, if you don't eat any carbohydrates, certainly you have to produce some glucose for red blood cells, because red blood cells cannot use ketone bodies and fat molecules for energy production. They don't have mitochondria, so some amount of glucose you need in the blood, and this bowhead whales, they produce glucose from glycerol and from this fat molecules. Okay, this is NACMO rats. They are adapted to hypoxia and hypercapnia. Okay, this again results are very positive. As I indicated in part 2 of this presentation, under aerobic conditions, fatty acid oxidation generates fewer reactive oxygen species compared to glucose. Consequently, following a ketogenic diet results in lower oxidative stress and damage of cell membranes in healthy cells than use beta oxidation. Okay, I missed it. So beta oxidation is the ketogenic diet. Pardon. Okay, how to change it. A ketogenic diet significantly increased median lifespan and survival in mice compared to controls. Okay, so we can go use here. It is, yeah, it's you see control. You can compare not, but some improvement. Okay, at least ketogenic diet. You see increased average lifespan in mice in comparison with control, which control it is the use of carbohydrates as a source of energy. Not much, but we'll further. Okay, we'll go a little bit more details in it. So, and because this so-called ketogenic diet was based on plant-based food and also the seed oils. So the seed oils are not nice, not good. So. Okay, that's what we go. As I said, plant-based ketogenic diet with low protein has following risk: accumulation of fat in the liver, okay, so-called fatty liver, formation of kidney stones, and the loss of muscles. Sure. Therefore, for longer life, it is necessary to follow a diet with saturated and monounsaturated fats, such as carnivore diet with animal fats like butter, tallow, lard, and fats from egg yolks. Okay, and again, you see why you can go to research, and consuming saturated and monounsaturated dietary fats is beneficial even for longevity in mice. Okay, so we go to here, and you see how we can compare the different oils. It is like control here, mice eating seeds and consuming also seed oils, and compared to lard. Lard gives very quite considerable lifespan extension. You see, maximum lifespan extension, also average lifespan extension increased a lot. So lard is the best, but the use of fish oil, it gives something, but not much, because fish oil has a lot of unsaturated fatty acid molecules. And soybean oil, yeah, so again, soybean oil has because it is genetically modified soy, so to reduce amount of unsaturated fatty acids, it is better than to use normal seed oils, and that using carbohydrates is this slide is demonstrated that also 40% calorie restricted diets, all control and other. Okay, so it is again better. No. Okay, so this was 40% calorie restriction plus saturated acids and control. And the explanation was like, okay, this is because calorie restriction. Guys, even with calorie restriction, you see a difference between lard and fish oil and soybean oil. So it is even here, even for mice, we see considerable life extension if they rely on saturated fat. Again, it's you have to go to the details of the diet of the mice and why they live longer, but the diet is not perfect. It is not carnivore diet. Certainly it was diet, so they were eating seeds, but lard was also used. Okay, flight is the main reason why the mass-adjusted metabolic rate in bats and on average is 3 to 5 times higher than in non-flying mammals, and maximum metabolic rate increases 15-16 times compared to minimum resting metabolic rate. So the metabolic rate in flying animals or very active animals like squirrels is varies a lot, and when metabolic rate is very high, they are getting to condition of hypoxia. So the rate we will talk. The rate of living theory. This is some theory which is quite popular. Predicts that animals with greater rates of metabolism should live shorter. And in theory, high oxidative stress due to high metabolic rate might shorten lifespan. Okay, so we can go here. It is a theory. Okay, and most of animals they follow this theory. Like mouse have about 500 beats per minute of the heart rate, and compared to whale, like 20 beats per minute. Difference in longevity, a lot, huge, yeah. And here also life expectancy versus heartbeat rate. You see, it's again it's normally these animals follow this theory, but difference. Okay, humans live longer. Okay, we will not consider it now, but look at this tiger. We see interesting. Tiger lives shorter than the ruminants and grass-eating ruminants. They live longer than tigers. So it's again, indication that this carnivore diet, this like strict carnivore diet, it can be healthy in young age, but it is not the way to extend your lifespan. Okay, this was I was talking. This is what I'm trying to tell. So that you have to follow not strict carnivore diet like it is very much promoted by internet influencers, but you have to modify this diet to live much longer, and it is possible to live if you modify your diet and follow these hints from bats, microbats, and make more rats, then you can extend your lifespan 10 times, maybe 20 times. So again, as I said, bats and birds with higher rates of metabolism live longer than slow non-flying and larger animals. Again, cannot be explained by this theory. And also diversity in the longevity of rodents of compatible size, such as squirrels, they live up to 23 years, and rats, the same size of the body, they live up to 5 years in captivity, only 1 year in the wild. And naked rats live up to 40 years versus mice up to 18 months in captivity and 3-4 months in the wild. Again, even we compare insect-eating microbats live up to 42 years and versus fruit-eating microbats up to 15 years. Okay, you see difference. Okay, fruit-eating microbats, they are much larger, so it is not big deviation from this theory. So again, but microbats, they rely on carbohydrates. But again, they have this time of very intense very high metabolic rate, so it helps. Certainly 15 years it's already something. But microbats have to live much shorter because they have much smaller body weight, and the heartbeat rate of the microbats can go above 1000 beats per minute during the flight. So it's again, they live so much longer. So it is again, we have to understand why it is this rate of living theory is wrong, certainly. Okay, the intermittent hypoxia experienced due to very intense activity, like compared squirrels and microbats, and also fruit-eating bats, and low oxygen content in the underground furrows, like for blind mole rats and naked mole rats. Shortage of glucose in the blood, also very important. It is for naked mole rats, it is investigated, but for flying bats, it is not very much measured, so it's difficult to find information on it. But again, what is intermittent hypoxia, of course, during this high activity, and high oxidative stress can be key factors in the longevity. So again, you see that during the flight, they experience high oxidative stress and intermittent hypoxia. But what is interesting, they live so much longer. Why? It's again opposite to your expectations. So what this mechanism can be? Malignant cells, including senescent cancer and virus-infected cells, rely more on glycolysis in the cytosol than on oxidative phosphorylation in mitochondria. So damaged mitochondria in these malignant cells produce more reactive oxygen species relative to those in normal cells. And then high oxidative stress due to intermittent hypoxia and shortage of glucose in the blood may lead to apoptosis of these malignant cells. Then because of this, these cells die, especially senescent cells are eradicated, that it goes to reduced chronic inflammation and longer life. So this is some hypothesis to explain why these naked rats and microbats live so long. So indeed, the average life expectancy of mice exposed to intermittent hypoxia increased by 16%. Okay, you see, even mice exposed to intermittent hypoxia without active activity, intense activity, but even the laboratory, they experienced this intermittent hypoxia, longevity increased. So this intermittent hypoxia therapy doubles the lifespan of nematode worms while maintaining their reproductive capacity. So let's go. Okay, you see here, it is a lifespan of this nematode. Oops, why? Oh shit. Okay, somehow I lost frame with that show lifespan of mice. So, but okay, you can believe me that 16% longevity was increased in mice just because of intermittent hypoxia. But in nematode worms, it is even more. So, but again, intermittent, it is not just chronic hypoxia, not, but it is intermittent hypoxia. And we see that, for example, combination of low concentration in air during 1 hour and 7 hours normoxia, it is that was the best. It gave the maximum lifespan much increased, and also the average lifespan increased a lot. So you see, and for schedule like 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours of hypoxia, 2 hours of normoxia, normal concentration of oxygen in air, it was without any change in their fertility. Okay, here also we see that the maximum improvement of the longevity was for schedule 2 hours of hypoxia, 2 hours of normoxia. Okay. Okay. So okay, then this is mice. Okay, this is this slide also show, but it is not only hypoxia, it is also increased concentration of carbon dioxide. But you see, it's again, it is extending maximum and average lifespan of mice. Okay, it is important to note that the drugs used to extend lifespan in mice have side effects, particularly the risk of tumor development, as well as this rapamycin or this. It's again, don't follow this hype with drugs. Drugs are not helpful. Some supplements can help, but not drugs. Not this rapamycin, respiratory. Yeah, this is all hype. It is absolutely wrong. Okay, so in contrast to the drugs, exposure to intermittent hypoxia showed a tendency toward oncoprotection against the development of tumors in mice. You can go to the research. This fact is also consistent with the fact that in the long-lived species like Nakemore rats and Greenland whales, resistance to cancer development is associated with increased longevity. So intermittent hypoxia kills malignant cells. This is the idea. And hypercapnia, it is carbon dioxide accumulation during intensive interval hypoxia, also may have geroprotective effect in mammals, so extend the longevity. So during short bouts of hypoxia, the body expresses certain genes that increase oxygen delivery to cell mitochondria and production of cellular energy. This process is driven by hypoxia-inducible factors that have been shown to modulate the aging process. Again, it's you can go to some more complicated explanation, and it is again from molecular viewpoint, it is interesting information, but Okay, so what we say, hypoxia-inducible factors regulate responses to low oxygen levels, and they may also activate metabolic adaptations that boost cellular stress responses, improve immune activity, and antiviral defenses. Chronic hypoxia leads to striking reduction in the amount of beneficial bacteria in the gut, producing excess reactive oxygen species and inducing senescence in bone marrow stem cells. You see, what is the difference between intermittent hypoxia and chronic hypoxia? Chronic hypoxia leads to that's not to benefits but reduced lifespan and accelerates aging. However, stress responses induced by intermittent hypoxia may improve immune system function, exercise tolerance, and cognitive performance, and may reduce blood glucose levels in older patients. So you can read the research. High-intensity interval training, sudden spurts during aerobic exercise, holding breath exercise, and free diving may potentially stimulate intermittent hypoxia in humans and help in removing senescent cells. This can be considered as a way to slow down your aging and accelerate and improve your longevity. Okay, so it is much recommended by official professional, but question is how to do it. It can be combined with some supplements and medications. It is not very easy question, so I work on it, and so it is good question and also not easy to explain why it works. So I may refer again to the publication of Rupert Sheldrake. He's a fantastic scientist, to my opinion. And he made this publication on the mechanism of cellular immortality. We know that slow dividing melanocytes become senescent and major contributors to age-related changes in the skin, despite the fact that they don't get to the Hayflick limit. Again, this contribution of Rupert Sheldrake is not appreciated at all. He is, amazing scientist, but somehow it is all this his publications ideas are suppressed by so-called official science. I am professional scientist. I respect him a lot, and I would say science is dead from the end of 80s. What is now science is part of propaganda, and it's all. So this is why we don't see any that's achievement in the that's in the core science. It is when it was much progress after the war in the 80s, it is stopped, and I myself suffered from this. My discoveries were suppressed also. My discoveries that may help people to produce unlimited amount of energy. So I'm not, it's a lot of just scientific facts, but they were suppressed. It was recognized as contribution, as the discovery of new physical phenomenon, but money go up completely different direction. So it's like to this green energy, which is complete insanity, to my opinion. Okay, let's go. The accumulation of cellular junk materials such as damaged proteins, oxidized lipids, lipofuscin, and dysfunctional mitochondria can drive cell senescence, especially in slow dividing and non-dividing cells like neurons and muscle cells, and these melanocytes. This junk buildup contributes to a cell inability to function properly. In conditions of chronic hypoxia, mitochondria become less efficient at production of energy, generate more reactive oxygen species, leading to high oxidative stress. The damage of cellular components by reactive oxygen species, and especially including mitochondrial DNA and proteins and lipids, and all this junk gradually accumulates in all cells. This is absolutely normal, I would say. Normal, and this is one of the consequences of the stiffening of blood vessels and stiffening of the extracellular matrix. This is consequence, but yet it is very, very important to understand the mechanism of aging. So this is Rupert Sheldrake, and he was born 15 years before me, so he is already old. But again, he does not care much about his own rejuvenation. So I would not say he looks younger than his age, chronological age. But okay, but again, his proposed his ideas of morphic resonance, and again some were suppressed. Why they were suppressed? Because it has connections to religion. It has connection to Christianity. He is not proposing Christianity, but then his ideas explain Christianity a lot, together with ideas of this Werner Heisenberg, who invented the quantum physics. It is all supporting ideas of Christianity and teaching of Christianity. So if you understand ideas of the Rupert Sheldrake, and it is all based on experiments, the same like quantum physics is based on experiments. And if you know this, you understand Christianity. You understand why Christianity works. I am devout Christian myself. Why? Because I rely on experiments. I rely on truth, not on opinion of some so-called official scientist. Now it is propaganda. It is anti-Christian, materialistic theory which has no ground in experimental. It is not supported by experiments at all. But yet it is at school and everywhere propaganda, anti-Christian, satanic. I would say satanic cult. Science becomes slowly, not all areas, but again slowly it becomes a satanic cult instead of true science. So, but again, I would not say it is all science is wrong, because even some publications you can read, you can get correct information, and you can find out what is necessary to do. But it's complicated yet. Okay, so again, slow dividing cells accumulate misfolded proteins and lipofuscin. The lipofuscin is a complex of oxidized lipids and proteins that is resistant to degradation, because cells don't have enzymes to digest this junk material. So lipofuscin is in particular accumulates in lysosomes. Lysosomes are responsible to remove, to digest, to destroy this junk material, but they cannot. And they are limited their ability to clear damaged organelles and proteins. And with dysfunctional lysosomes, because junk accumulates in the lysosomes and the concentration of enzymes is dropping, so cells accumulate more dysfunctional mitochondria and other junk and pushing them further into senescent cells. Okay, here the slide you see how the lipofuscin granules, it is violet, as I here shown by violet, they accumulate in neuron cells. Neuron cells are very slow dividing, or not dividing at all. So it is again accumulates, but not only in neuron cells, in also in this melanocytes. Okay, let's go. Also, with dysfunctional lysosomes, mitophagy, which is the selective degradation of dysfunctional mitochondria, is suppressed. Again, you see consequences. It is like the chain of reaction, chain of consequences. So if you understand how this aging is happening, you can stop it or reverse it and live actually unlimited. So it is like you will not see aging like NACMO rates and microbats. They are not aging. They can be killed by predators or by infections, but they are not aging. So we can do the same if we understand the mechanism of why they are not aging. to protect themselves from oxidative stress due to increased production of reactive oxygen species by dysfunctional mitochondria. Energy metabolism shifts in cancer cells and senescent cells to glycolysis. Oh, pardon, this glycolysis, it has to be the misspelled. Okay, glycolysis, but you understand glycolysis is where it is glycolysis. Okay, glycolysis. Huh? Okay, glycolysis. Dr. Sheldrake suggested that cancer cells may have developed a mechanism to expel junk material in extracellular vehicles outside the cells to get rejuvenation and potential immortality. That you see that some cells can rejuvenate themselves, even if in the case of symmetrical division, they can rejuvenate themselves. Why? They just expel this junk material outside and they rejuvenate themselves, so they not accumulate this junk, and they also use glycolysis. Glycolysis is producing fewer reactive oxygen species, and then it is protection against aging, the protection against death of the cells, so apoptosis of the cells. So it is very, very good idea. Again, you can read, you understand how cancer cells are immortal. You will understand why we can be immortal. Okay, as I mentioned in my old video and presentation, you can read it. The Japanese armored divers descend to depths of 20 meters in frigid water and remain submerged up to 2 minutes at a time. So they go and they, for a few hours, they do it. So, and during this submersion, during the diving, they search out and for sea cucumbers, seaweed, and shellfish and other stuff, seafood which they can consume or sell. The fishing season is from March to September. It is only 5 months, so not long, when the weather is good and the waves are calm. Armored divers usually start their profession in shallow waters at an early age, approximately 15 years old, and continue to dive well into old age, with a substantial proportion of armored divers being elderly, and some over 90 years old, and they continue diving. Imagine. So during the diving, they may stay for a while on boards by the open fire to warm their bodies and drink hot tea. And in the late afternoon, they feast on grilled seafood. Okay, this is, you see, old armored divers. They are very active. They are diving. Can you imagine that some elderly in America or Western countries go diving 20 meters deep and stay underwater for a few minutes? No. Okay, but they do it. Okay, you see this elderly armored divers after diving, they don't eat before the diving. Or certainly, it is very dangerous to eat. So they are fasting at morning and during the day, but late afternoon they grill the seafood and they eat, and so they rely on this carnivore diet. But special carnivore diet, I mean, seafood is better, more healthy than meat, for example. Meat is good for young people, but for the elderly, it is actually producing toxins in your body. So this is why I try to promote modified carnivore diet. Okay, but again, so what else? The fat metabolism produces 30% less carbon dioxide compared to the glucose metabolism. Okay, so again, thus the stimulus to breathe will be delayed in divers in the state of ketosis. Okay, it's very well known fact. Okay, so if you rely on ketogenic diet and use fat as the main source of energy, you can stay longer underwater. So longer breath holds were completed in a metabolic state of ketosis, facilitated by 14-hour overnight fasting and also morning. If you don't eat that, then your body is changing from the use of carbohydrates or protein as a source of energy to use of fatty acids and ketonic bodies produced by the liver. Yeah, it is helping, but again, better to stay in deep ketosis because of the following ketogenic diet. Again, this, I'm a diver, I know this, okay. Hyperventilation is not increasing amounts of oxygen stored in the blood prior to breath holding, but reduces the concentration of carbon dioxide before diving and increasing the risk of blackout or syncope. This is very dangerous. Okay, so if you diver, and I am a diver, I know how to. I am practicing this hyperventilation, but I know when to stop. It's not too long because I don't want to die. Because of this blackout. Okay, but what else? Similar to diving seals, whales, and dolphins, experienced divers are able to slow down heart rates to about 11 beats per minute. Okay, this is I'm not very experienced diver, but when I go down, I just see, and also I do some efforts to slow down my heartbeat, maybe to 20 beats per minute, maybe, but or maybe 30. But I definitely, I didn't measure, but I definitely slow down my heartbeat. Okay, this is the divers. How they go, they can go below 100 meters. My personal record only 37 meters deep, but it was done and measured when I was young. Now, when I dive alone, I never go deeper than 25 meters because I don't. If I am alone, I have to be very careful to survive. So it is always has some danger, but it is fun. It is fun. When I was in Germany, I was going to Egypt twice a year for 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, and for diving and free diving, and 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day I was diving and snorkeling, and then after this short vacation, I was so much more. I had so much more energy. Was so much more health, and so diving is very healthy. And this my presentation explains why. Okay, fasting following a ketogenic diet, exposure to a cold environment, and prolong this longer than 90 minutes, moderate to high intensity endurance exercise may deplete glycogen storage in the liver and muscles and lower the blood glucose levels. This is what happens when with amateur divers, but also, I mean, for experienced divers also. This what develops hyperglycemia, and again, as I mentioned, naked rats, they have also low blood glucose levels. Okay, this is one factor which you have to consider to extend your longevity. When glucose availability is limited, the metabolism of malignant cells based on glycolysis is suppressed. Okay, while macrophages and natural killer immune cells switch to fatty acids as a source of energy and produce energy by beta oxidation. Okay, so it is damaging malignant cells, but your immune cells are fine with this. If glucose level are low, it is not damaging your immune cells. It is quite opposite. It is improving functioning of immune cells. Amino acids, especially glutamine and arginine, serve as an additional fuel sources and are critical for the activation and cytotoxic activity of the immune cells. Okay, so again, arginine is sometimes recommended up to 100 grams a day. Glutamine is, glutamine I also consider it is very helpful. And additionally, intense blood flow during aerobic activity, like you go diving, your blood flow improves because you work with your legs, and legs are doing pumping blood, swimming in fins, pumping your blood, or cycling during cycling, or even jogging, pumping blood better than your heart. So it improves oxygen supply to tissues and helps to activate the immune system. Okay, you see, it's important. Supplements may have a positive effect on the body immune function. Okay, some supplement. Okay, you can go to this, but this is quite complicated question, so I work on it, what supplements and what the protocols can be used for this. And because the idea is that similar to NACMO rates and similar to microbats, we can eliminate senescent cells. What else? The spleen is a major blood reservoir in mammals. During exercise or prolonged breath-holding apnea, splenic contraction pumps stored concentrated red blood cells into circulation. Yeah, this why this okay. Repeated hypoxia during intense exercise increases the volume of blood stored in the spleen. Yeah, you can, but not quick. It all takes time. Apnea training can increase the size of the spleen, but 8 weeks of training is not sufficient to get significant training adaptation in acute increases of hemoglobin and so red blood cells. So 8 weeks is nothing. 2 months of training is nothing. In contrast to it, the elite B athletes who are at least 4 years in the training, 4 years in the training, so you have to do it long time, have greater splenic volume with great ability to alleviate the number of circulating red blood cells compared to the untrained individuals. Okay, this you see, you have to do it for years. In biology, everything takes time. A rapid contraction of the spleen to 16% of its previous volume, it is a lot. Okay, so you see it, the spleen can get very small during the exercise, and it was measured in but okay, it is not in humans, but in humans also work, but in seal pups, in elephant seal pups, so these animals, in animals this contraction of spleen increases during the dives to keep them alive, to that they can stay 5 minutes, 10 minutes underwater. Okay, this is again how to, you have more red blood cells, your blood stores more oxygen, so you cannot increase concentration of oxygen by hyperventilation, no, not at all. But if you already trained diver or trained athletes, then you have big size of spleen, and then the contraction of the spleen is producing more blood, and this blood, so amount of blood and amount of red cells in the blood is increasing, so it is your body gets more oxygen in total. Okay, so it's again apnea, how you can use training to increase your spleen size and activate the contraction of the spleen. It is very also helpful. So I may propose a hypothesis. I work on it. It has to be confirmed by experiments, by observations, but again, just now it is a hypothesis. So that my hypothesis is that intermittent apnea, splenic contractions, exposing the body of the Japanese AMA divers to stress in cold water. Okay, so okay, now we're talking about AMA divers, so I believe that they are perfect people and doing all right and live long and active on up to 90 years old. They continue diving in so old age. Yeah, but yet again, and also they follow ketogenic diet. It may trigger mechanism of partial cell rejuvenation or body rejuvenation by expelling the junk material into the extracellular matrix and by activation of the immune system. So they live longer, yes, sure. And the mechanism of the cell rejuvenation and body rejuvenation, in particular, this expelling the junk material into the extracellular matrix. But, however, if immune cells cannot digest this junk, its accumulation will turn over time a human body into sewage without drainage. Okay, so AMA divers, they live longer, but not radically longer. So the idea, my idea, is to use microbial enzymes to degrade and remove the junk materials from the extracellular matrix and from the cells. This idea, okay, this is not my idea. This was proposed by Dr. DeGray in 2002 as a part of his strategy to slow down and reverse aging, but since then he never used it. It is his idea. I do it, I follow this idea, I developed it further, and I see improvement, and yeah, it's but so again, if lysosomes or macrophages and other immune cells get such advanced microbial enzymes, they may clean up the junk material in the extracellular matrix. This I believe. So again, some adaptation. So it is again, neckmorets don't use this mechanism, but for us, we have already old bodies, and we have to accelerate this rejuvenation. What I'm using, so all my ideas that if we use this advanced microbial enzymes, then together with all this what AMA divers do, it will help us. It may help us to live for centuries and for up to 1,000 years. Okay. So again, in my opinion, while Japanese AMA divers live a long, active life, intake of the advanced microbial enzymes may further extend their longevity. So okay, if we do the same, like Japanese AMA divers, the same physical activity and holding breath, etc., and exposure to cold water, etc., etc. So and increasing your volume of your spleen, or what they do, then additionally to these advanced microbial enzymes may further extend the longevity of the AMA divers, and my longevity if I use it for myself. Also, with intake of some drugs and supplements, the activity of the immune system can be modulated. Okay, so I'm not talking only about these microbial enzymes. There are some drugs and supplements which are well known to improve activity of the immune system and improve blood flow, etc., etc. So it's a part of the rejuvenation. Why not? So it is yet a subject of future research to develop protocols for radical rejuvenation, health improvement, and a significant radical lifespan extension. As I mentioned in part 6 of this presentation, the regular intake of my advanced enzymes reduced significantly the pulse pressure in participants of the trial. So I used for myself, and I use it till now for myself, but also to some my people who participating in the project, and with very good results, indeed. So it is an indication that immune cells equipped with these enzymes, they clean junk inside the big arteria. Okay, because high blood pressure, for example, it is because of this junk accumulates in the walls of big arteria. But if the immune cells can clean up all this lipofuscin and all this oxidative polyunsaturated fatty acids, etc., etc. So then you can see it in numbers that blood pressure is improving, the pulse pressure is dropping down, and pulse pressure, it is one of the pulse pressure is related to your biological age. You are as old as your cardiovascular system. So easy. So in the long term, the enzymes may help to clean up lipofuscin and other junk material in the extracellular matrix. Okay, if I check I look to my blood, and I don't see this much, at least. There are some pigment, but not this spots, age spots, which are typically developed in old people. So it helps even for skin. Okay, but when I produce these enzymes and I try to get some support and clinical trials, not just small trial, but much larger trial with many participants, and I was looking for support, financial support. I failed. I applied to many countries, including Singapore, Hong Kong, Singapore, China, Japan, and America. Nothing, no reply. I applied quite, everything was done well, with publications, references, and everything. Yeah. Nobody is interested to support it. But so again, if you want to support this research, if you want to participate, okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know what to do. You have my contacts in the description of the video. You can do it. This how this my pigments, enzymes look like. So I do it like, and they pack them into gelatin capsules and keep under vacuum in a cooler, so they can stay longer. And this was measurements of the blood pressure after I started to use them. After I started to use the enzymes, you see that systolic blood pressure 90, almost 90 to 53. So the pulse pressure is 37 and the pulse is 51, and then it is even a little bit longer. It is my systolic blood pressure went up a little bit. Because why it is sometimes up? Because of training. So if you go training, if you go to exercises, your systolic blood pressure can increase. In this case, it is increased quite much. So I have to. This is 2023. So okay. So heartbeat rate is dropped, but we see that systolic blood pressure went up. So it is now. It is like 45. This is okay. This is not good. Again, I have some. Again, I have to work on it. So this was better. Okay, in 2000, this was 2023. I did something, and next year, and for example in January, it was like 107, 107 to 68. So the 105. And then it is pulse pressure 37, and heartbeat rate 53. Okay, so it is better than this. Okay, in a year it improved. And what is also you have to pay attention, after, if you don't have a day to rest after intense exercises, your pulse pressure stays the same. Like here also it's about 33 here, and here no, 110. I cannot see. No, it is 102. Okay, it is 34, and here 33. Okay, about the same. So pulse pressure stays about the same, but heartbeat rate is increasing because you need more blood circulation to recover after the exercise, and also the systolic and diastolic blood pressure go a little bit up. It is okay. It is absolutely normal. Okay, just don't show any problem. Okay, it's whatever. Pardon. What is the problem? Okay, you can go to references, make your own research. It's a lot of. I did quite long research, and you see this my idea that if you do it like Japanese armor, you will live longer. Sure, they do it very well, but yet you have accumulation of some junk in cells and in extracellular matrix. How to remove it? I believe that this combination of these advanced enzymes, which I again produce in small amounts, but I was thinking to produce in much more. But again, no customers, and I cannot sell it without clinical trials. Yeah, I cannot sell it because it has to be proven. If it is just some, I don't know, my idea, it's again, I can have problems to do such things, but it is organic, it is not toxic, it is working quite well. You need 1-2 grams per day, and about 3 months to see the improvement. But then after 3 months you will get already blood pressure good, but then you have to consume little bit less and continue, because yet it is necessary to remove junk from extracellular matrix. in your body. So combination of this proper diet and proper activity and with microbial this advanced microbial enzymes, I believe this is the key to for radical lifespan extension. I don't deny the use of some drugs, and I was talking about this. Some drugs are helpful, and supplements also. I don't produce the supplements, and drugs are available from pharmacy. Yeah, they're cheap, available, and okay. So this is how my project goes. Okay. So again, I'm not medical professional. I don't give medical advice. It is only for educational informational properties or post purposes, pardon, and do your own research, decide. And if you enjoyed this video, and if you have questions, and you leave this in the comment section, and also you can contact me with email. You will find it in the description. And if you like to support me, if you want to support me again, at least what the minimum what you can do it is press like and bell button, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends and family. I yet have very few followers and views of my channel, because I do this research in a way like I did my scientific research. So I rely on this, you see, dozens and dozens of scientific publications, because it is not just a report of some one publication. It is very detailed, very hard research based on many publications, and so to support my ideas, to support the information what I propose. But I have to make it shorter videos with maybe a few minutes or long, and with some simpler stuff. But again, it is not medical advice, so I don't think medical professionals will appreciate if I will spread this information like medical advice. Okay, this is not medical advice. Okay, thank you for your time. It was a long video, and have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.